Hey guys, new tool here for you called UV Zone Layout. So this tool makes it very quick and easy for you to lay out UVs based on predefined templates that you can create yourself. So in this case we got what looks like a dice here. We'll go ahead and add the unwrap modifier, which is required for this to work. And then what you can do, we know this texture, or I do, that it's a 3x3 grid. So what we can do is click this button here and it allows us to generate a grid real quick. We can select a UV polygon. You don't even have to have element mode on. It'll automatically find the associated faces, and then you just click a zone and it'll automatically get mapped. So if we click this one, you can kind of see how stuff is getting mapped. Now, if you want to see what the texture looks like behind this zones, you can go ahead and load that right in there, and then you can kind of see what zone is going to be assigned as you click it. Another cool feature is you can select all of these if you want and assign them at once, but if you select the zones up here and then hit this mapping button, it will actually randomly assign each UV shell to a face. And then you can go in after the fact and kind of tweak it. One of the bonuses that come with this tool is the ability to use this toolbox, which has a bunch of options for alignment, distribute, spacing horizontal. There's also rotate, which is really useful. So you can select a bunch of islands if you want, or UV shells, and hit the rotate, and it'll automatically rotate them for you. That allows you to kind of knock stuff out real quick. The other options we got here are, let's just say, for example, we blow all these out. And you have a specific layout that you already like your UVs. You can go in here and let's just imagine this was already set up to something that I liked mapping-wise, that I wanted to create a template from. You can do that by selecting all this stuff, or maybe we just want to select these over here. And then you can actually click this button here, which there's a tooltip for all this stuff. It'll generate zones from those selected UVs. You can see those here. Super useful. Again, speeds up the process really well doing it that way. You can double click these and further tweak the values if you want. You can see as I use my mouse wheel, those will move. You can also adjust the width and the color. You can also click on the color swatch and adjust it if you want. And then if you need to, you can actually go into edit mode down here and freely move these around. You'll see the values update in real time. And then you can turn on some snapping settings, increments of 10, and enable snap, and you'll see how this moves in increments of 10. So you can further customize and tweak your templates as you need to. And then you can immediately start using it after you've done it. Some other options here are padding and different types of fit modes. These fit modes kind of correlate to terms used in CSS, website styling. So let me show you kind of what the padding would do. If I selected all these again, and let's reset this real quick to use our 3x3 grid. 3x3. And say I didn't want to have this stitching here anymore. What I could do is technically just add some padding in here. Let's just say 20. And when I hit map, you'll see it'll disappear. Oh, whoops. And now we don't have any more. So you can see how it's adding a little bit of a gap. And the nice thing is the padding is in pixels based on the size of your texture. So you can work with non-uniform textures if you want, and it'll automatically add padding. So in this case, it would do padding of 20 pixels around each UV shell. It makes it a lot easier to work. We'll put this back. You do have the option when you rescale to leave your template untouched by doing anchor to page, or rescale, which will automatically make it adjust. So yeah, one of the other options we have, we'll go into the cables one here and kind of show you how that would work. I'll delete all these, and I'll show you some of these fit mode options. So if I select some of these faces here, we can kind of we don't even really need this to be open, but we'll leave it there so you guys can kind of see what's happening. So we know this one is 1 by 3. We'll load our texture up in the background, and we'll assign them all. Now you can see these are different. Some of these, you can see how this rope doesn't go to the edges, and this one it kind of goes off and gets clipped. That's because the padding, or the settings here for the fit mode has uniform on. So if we turn that off, and let's select this guy, we'll map it to this, you'll see it doesn't get cut off. Now if we go back to the rope, so it's scaling the object to fit the entire bounds of the zone, taking into account the padding which we have here. So if we turn the padding off and go back, then you can select all these. Again, you can select this stuff and let it just randomly assign one. And then if you want to add an additional zone custom, you can go ahead and do that. You can say full screen, and then you could just leave it at 0, 0, and do 1024, 1024, and now you have one huge zone. And you can turn these off and on as you need to. Maybe you want to have just a few of these available at a given time in the viewer down here. So you can do that if you want, and then go ahead and use them. So you can resize your template, like I said here, and then you can also actually save, load, and you can even merge templates as needed based on what your guys' setup is like. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Thanks.